I thought I had found peace, a best friend who stood by me through everything. But behind her comforting words was a plan so cruel it destroyed everything I loved. And when I finally discovered the truth, it was already too late to turn back. The night it all fell apart, the rain just wouldn't stop. I stood there, outside my shattered apartment window, the sound of sirens screaming in the distance. I watched the police take away the man I loved, and right there beside them, pretending to cry, was her. Emily, my best friend, my sister in everything but blood. Her hands were trembling, her tears were fake, and her voice cracked as she said, "I'm so sorry, Sarah. I had no choice." But I knew she was lying. The betrayal cut deeper than any physical wound. Everything I had worked for, my relationship, my career, my peace of mind, it was all collapsing. And at the center of it all was her, the woman I trusted more than anyone. That night, watching the flashing blue lights dance across her face, I realized something chilling. Sometimes the people who smile with you at your happiest moments are the same ones sharpening the knife behind your back. I whispered to myself, this isn't the end. Emily and I met during our university years in London. She was charming, confident, and had this amazing ability to make everyone like her. I was quieter, more focused on my studies, and just so grateful to have someone like her by my side. Over the years, we became inseparable. We shared apartments, late-night coffees, and endless laughter. When I finally landed my dream job at a top design firm, she seemed to celebrate even more than I did, or so I thought. Emily's own career was a struggle. She bounced from job to job, always complaining about being unlucky. I did everything I could to help her. I covered her rent, gave her my professional contacts, and even introduced her to Daniel, my boyfriend at the time. He was kind, successful, exactly the kind of person she always said she admired. Maybe that should have been my first warning sign, but trust blinds you. You never see the cracks forming until the whole floor gives way beneath you. Slowly, she started to take over every part of my life. It was so subtle, so quiet, that I couldn't tell where her friendship ended and her envy began. It started with small things like borrowing my clothes and forgetting to return them. Then she'd make little jokes about how Daniel looked at me differently now. I just laughed it off. I thought she was kidding. But soon, things turned darker. She started planting these tiny seeds of doubt in Daniel's mind, whispering that I was spending too much time at work, that maybe I was hiding something. I didn't notice it at first, but Daniel's behavior changed. He became colder, more distant. At the same time, my boss suddenly started questioning my ethics after receiving an anonymous email accusing me of stealing a client's design. My life was falling apart piece by piece, and I had no idea why. Every single time, I turned to Emily for comfort, and she was always there, pretending to support me, offering advice, hugging me with one arm while twisting the knife with the other. One evening, after a terrible fight with Daniel, I went to Emily's place to vent, and there it was, sitting on her kitchen counter, his watch. My world just froze. I didn't confront her, not right away. I just walked out into the night, my heart pounding, realizing that everything I'd trusted, my relationship, my best friend, was built on a mountain of lies. I decided to play along. I pretended I didn't know a thing. While she smiled sweetly and called me sister, I started gathering the truth piece by piece. I found messages on Daniel's phone, hotel bookings under fake names. I even traced my stolen design files directly back to her laptop. Emily had orchestrated everything. She framed me at work, she ruined my relationship, and she took everything I'd built just so she could step into my life. The final blow came when I was suspended from my job. That night, she sent me a message. "I hope you can forgive me someday. You were always too perfect. I just wanted what you had." That's when something inside me just broke. Forgiveness? No. I wasn't going to forgive her. I was going to destroy her. But I had to be smart about it, just as quiet and calculated as she had been. I reached out to an old friend from my IT department, and together we started tracing her digital footprints. We found everything she had done to me, and to others before me. It turned out my story wasn't her first. She had left a whole trail of manipulation in her wake, friends, co-workers, partners, all ruined. And now I had the proof. The night I chose for my revenge was deliberate. Emily had been invited to present my award-winning design at a high-profile gallery opening in Shoreditch, an opportunity she dangled in front of me like bait. I accepted the invitation too, looking calm and collected, while my IT friend and two others stood by, with the evidence I'd spent weeks compiling. As the crowd gathered beneath the exposed brick and hanging lights, I slipped into the control room. I fed the gallery's main projector one simple file. A clean, concise montage of everything. Text messages, bank transfers, hotel receipts, and voice recordings. Emily's own voice admitting she'd sent the anonymous email, laughing about how easy it was to take my life. The screens flickered, the music cut out, every head in the room turned. I watched from the shadows as Emily's confident smile faltered, then completely crumbled, as her secrets played out in front of investors, editors, and the very people who had just applauded her supposed success. I didn't say a word. I let the evidence speak for itself. Then I played the final clip, Daniel's voice on a voicemail he thought was private, apologizing profusely, followed by a recording of Emily admitting she had framed people before she'd even met him. The room went cold. Security escorted her out as murmurs swelled into outrage. Within 24 hours, HR and the police opened investigations. The gallery withdrew its support, and the clients who'd hired her were demanding their money back. My life didn't just snap back into place overnight, but the scales of justice had finally shifted. The woman who had tried to ruin me was now exposed, her web of lies unraveled for everyone to see. The brutal justice I sought had unfolded exactly as I'd planned. In the days that followed, the aftermath was messy but quiet. Emily's phone stopped ringing with job offers. Instead, messages I had once ignored started arriving in my own inbox as apologies that tasted of fear. The gallery formally withdrew its offer, and clients who had praised her began asking very difficult questions. HR launched a full investigation, and the police called me in to give my official statement. It wasn't instant vindication. There were interviews, skeptical colleagues, and the slow, grinding process of paperwork. But the momentum had shifted. People who had once admired her started to see the cracks, and those who had doubted me reached out with cautious sympathy. For me, the relief came in small doses. My work account was restored, my design files were returned, and I received a tentative invitation to come back to my job. But more important was the change inside me. I no longer felt like a victim defined by what was taken from me. I felt steadier, sharper, and so much more careful about who I let into my life. Revenge didn't erase the pain, but it reclaimed my name and my dignity. Emily became a cautionary tale I'd tell myself on hard nights. A reminder that envy, especially from those closest to you, can be incredibly destructive. Life slowly returned to a new normal, a bit more guarded but hopeful. And as autumn settled over the city, I realized the strongest thing left standing after betrayal wasn't hatred, but the resolve to protect the life I had rebuilt. Which character or part of the story did you find most shocking? And do you have any thoughts or suggestions on how you might have handled it? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to hear your reactions. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.